Olivia, what's happening? How you feeling?
I'm good. I woke up a little bit late this morning and I just got ready, so I'm like still in my early morning feeling. So
It's all good. Listen, time still doesn't matter. Like I don't know what's going on. My life is in shambles. Like
agreed.
my thoughts are in shambles. How are your thoughts?
Um my whenever I'm left alone for extended periods of time, like my brain just goes to some crazy places. Like I don't even like I need some more distractions. I'm almost done watching every single season there is available of 90 Day Fiance. That's the only thing that's really been distracting me. So like I don't really know what I can do next.
What else? Like so that's the only thing you're watching. You're not watching anything else?
I just watched the first episode of Unsolved Mysteries yesterday, but then I couldn't get myself to watch the second one because like when I watch something serious like that, I can't watch it for too long. Otherwise, then my brain goes down a whole other different scary path.
Absolutely. Everybody's talking about unsolved mysteries. Is it because you know the one from back in the day? Like I'll see repeats and things like that. It's scary as hell. Is this one as scary as the one from back in the day?
um, I don't know if it's. I mean, I only ever watched the old one when I was like a kid and probably shouldn't have been watching that. So
Mhm.
like it was obviously very scary to me. But I don't know. I think it's not scary as much as it is like just like
Creepy.
yeah, it's creepy. It's like how do they not know what happened to these people? Like and that it's crazy.
Oh, now you make me another TV show that I'm gonna have to start watching. Like
It's pretty
last
good.
night,
First episode is like really good.
like off the wall, really good.
You're just like I'm just like I literally have no idea what happened to this guy. Like there's so many different parts. You have to watch it. You have to watch it. I'm not going to spoil
Okay.
anything.
So last time we talked, you were saying you were just like blah. You really wasn't doing anything. You just is that still the same with you?
Kind of. I've been trying to write a little bit. Last night I literally just played guitar in my room for like barely probably like 20 minutes, and I just like tried to like freestyle and like sing, and it
Mhm.
just nothing came out, nothing happened. Everything sounded bad, and I'm just like I've just given up on trying to do anything other than just watch 90 Day Fiance at this point, which is so sad. But
Does that frustrate you a little bit?
oh my god, yeah, so much. But it's like I can't write unless I'm out living my life, and I can't live my life right now. I can't meet people and get inspired, so there's nothing to do.
So you would say like basically what you write about is basically personal
Oh yeah,
situations and things like that.
definitely, 100%. It's really hard for me to. Sometimes I'll try to write about other people, but it's always been hard for me because writing is just like what I always like resorted to when I was feeling sad or honestly any kind of emotion. I would just always write about it, and that's how I like deal with my feelings. So, not
It's
I'm not
almost,
feeling anything right now, so I have nothing to write about.
it's almost like your therapy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you feel like there is one specific topic that's easy or easier to write about than others?
I mean, heartbreak is just always it's always
Mm.
pretty easy to write about because I feel like it's a clear feeling. Like I don't really have to think too much about like how do I feel about this. Like if I just have my heart broken, I'm like I'm sad. I really like this person and they don't want whatever the fuck like whatever happened. I just it's so easy to write about because it's such a clear story. Whereas like I don't know. Like sometimes I'll try to write about more like my depression and my anxiety, and even that sometimes it's hard to write about because you have to really put yourself in the place to like think about, okay, why am I feeling this way, what's wrong, what in my life is causing this, and then it sometimes makes me more sad when I write about that stuff because I really had to put myself in the mindset of like, oh wait, I'm like really depressed right now.
You know what's funny? Whenever I tell somebody that I'm having anxiety about something, it like brings on the anxiety that I'm having about the thing, like right then and there, which is crazy.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like a lot of people don't like to talk about, like their mental health issues if they're having any because it's so much easier to just kind of push it aside sometimes and not have to face it. But I do notice that when I do face it and it does get worse after I'm done talking about it or writing about it or whatever, I do feel better because it's out of my mind.
So when you put out a song like that, right, and everybody's out there to listen to it and critique it and judge it and tell you how they feel about it, does I'm sure that brings on a whole nother set of anxiety.
Yeah, it's interesting also because people always like think that they know what my songs are about when I keep most of my life, my personal life private.
Mhm.
I mean, like, obviously there's been some things that have been out there, but like people really just don't know what goes on, and they just I mean, it's just human nature to want to figure out what happened, just like Unsolved Mysteries, right? When I put out a song, there's no, I'm not saying exactly what it's about or who it's about, so people want to take it up to like on themselves to figure it out. So that's probably the most frustrating part for me, is people being like, oh, this is about this and this is about this and this means this, when really it just like never does.
I'm sure you probably got a lot of that with Josslyn.
Oh my, I have heard that that song is about like 40 different people.
And you're like, you have no idea.
Yeah, like, and I'm never gonna talk about it because it's like it's not anyone's business who it's about, because like it's not even my business to share because it involves other people. So I'm not gonna be the person to be like, oh, this is about this person. Like, I just feel like that's so wrong to the people that the song is about, you know?
So if you were describing Josslyn to someone that hasn't heard it before, how would you describe it to someone?
I would say that it is it's a little bit angry.
Oh,
It's
hell yeah. It's petty as hell. And let me tell you, I am like, I don't want to say I'm the king of petty, but I love me some good petty.
oh,
And
it's
that song is
petty.
petty.
It's definitely, that's the perfect word. It's very petty. It's very well, though actually the one thing I would like to tell people that I always say is that it's not about Josslyn. It's not about the girl. It's about the guy. I'm talking to the guy the whole time. The name is just there. Like, it's just there for the kind of like the shock value of like telling the guy, like, you know, the girl that they hooked up with or whatever. But the song is about the guy. Like, I would never be like, I hate Josslyn, I hate like the other woman. Like, I'm not about that. It's all about the man and the man that messed up. So that's the number one most important thing about the song.
Couple of questions. Number one, do you feel like people think that it's about Josslyn? Because I think from the lyrics, you can tell that you're screaming at the dude.
Definitely, but I do see a lot of comments being like, oh, we hate Josslyn. I'm like, no, we love Josslyn. Like,
It has nothing to do with Josslyn.
she's just there. She was just trying to have some fun, and she just got involved, and got tangled up in the wrong place.
Because the dude always knows that he has a girl or a dude. Like, they know. You know what I'm saying? Josslyn
Yeah.
has no idea that he's involved.
Mhm. It's always the person that made the commitments fault if they are messing up. Like, Josslyn didn't have any commitment to me. Even the guy, honestly, I've also talked about this a lot. The guy, I never actually dated the guy the song's about. I say that in the song too. Like, uh, we never said where we drew the line means like we never said we were dating or whatever. But like, it just felt like a thing. So I don't. The whole song it's just so petty because I never even dated the person. They technically didn't cheat on me. It's just petty.
Right. But and then what I'm so fascinated by this, because it's not even about you, but the song comes across like you sing it so passionately and it's so, written perfectly and petty. Like, you think that it's a situation that happened with you, but in reality, not so much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it happened. It just I made it a lot more dramatic than it needed to be.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the micro mixtape, which I love the name of the micro mixtape. It's probably one of the most clever names that I saw out there. The result of my poor judgment. Would you say that you're someone that has a lot of poor judgment?
Um, yeah, sorry, my dog is like
It's all good.
gets mad when I talk to other people. But yes, I think when it comes to relationships, like, I'm really good at giving other people advice. I always know the right thing to do. Like, and even with myself, I always know what the right thing to do is. I just never do it. Like, I choose actively to kind of mess up my life, because just being an artist, like, when I'm uninspired, it's usually because I'm like doing well, or like I'm single and I'm thriving being single.
Or
But
happy.
yeah, I'm happy. But when I like get my heart broken, or when I like a guy who's just a total a-hole, and like I have so many songs to write about. So I'll actively go for guys that I know are going to mess me up, or at least like make me feel certain emotions that I can write about.
Hmm.
It's scary. It's really scary.
Is that, I don't want to say subliminal, but do you think that you do that not on purpose, but because you don't want to be unhappy, but it's like this is your type of person that you go after?
Yeah, it's definitely something I kind of subconsciously do, but then it's become just, it's almost like a routine for me. Like, I just Dexter, what are you doing, buddy?
I
I
love
just
that.
I just know, like, it just kind of happens. Like, it's always the guys that I've gone for, so I continue to just go for them, and I can't like get myself out of this like routine I'm in, pattern.
I get it. I want to talk about your tattoos. One in particular. There's one. Do you have one tattoo that it's like a like the cross when you're like crossed out of people that broke your heart?
This.
That's
My tallies.
uh-huh.
Yeah, so the tally marks are like guys that have inspired me to write like basically entire albums. Like, I've written at least like probably 10 songs about each one, probably more. But yeah, I mean, like there's been a lot of, like, I've obviously like talked to, and I haven't had any like real serious relationships, but there's been a lot of guys like in and out of my life, whatever. But only 3 of them have ever inspired me to write anything. So they're kind of like muses, but I don't want to, it's not about them. Like, I don't want to give them the satisfaction of knowing that like I cared enough to like get a tattoo, but it's more about just like an experience, an emotional experience that inspired me so much that I just could not stop writing about it. It's like, and it, cause like right now I can't write about anything, and it's so frustrating. I'm like waiting for the next tally mark to come along so that I'll get inspired.
Have you ever been like on dating like sites and apps and things like that to like speed up the process? At least you can do it virtually.
I mean, I tried, but I just can't. I have to, in order for someone to be a tally mark, like I have to be infatuated with them. It doesn't have to be like love. I just think I have to create this like idea of them in my mind, like almost like a movie character. Like, I have to really like romanticize everything about them and think that they're amazing and whatever. And it's very hard for me to come across someone that I think of in that way, because I don't want to say I'm judgmental, because I'm not judgmental. I'm very like picky. Like, I can only be attracted to like certain characteristics, and it's like it's not, it's just about the way that I like communicate with someone in person. Like, if I can't, like if I'm texting someone or FaceTiming someone even, I can't tell if I'm going to even like them. And then I just get so bored because I can't tell if I like them.
Right, because it's over text and you really can't tell. You don't know. Like, you don't know if it's the actual person or if they just telling you everything that you want to hear.
Exactly.
You know?
And there's also just a vibe that you have to get in person that you just can't tell virtually.
100%. When's your birthday?
November 26th.
Oh, so you're a Sag.
Yeah, I'm a Sag.
You have very like Scorpio tendencies.
I tried really hard to be a Scorpio. I was born, I was a C-section, but I was born like 2 weeks early because I was literally pushing my way out of my mother. Like, not with my nose smacked to the side. Like, I literally was crawling because I wanted to be a Scorpio so bad. But I'm a Sagittarius, but I have a Cancer moon. So I'm like crazy, super like wild energy, whatever, like free. I don't like relationships. I don't like to be held down. I don't like commitments, whatever. And then my Cancer moon, Cancer rules my emotions, right? So that's why I'm so sad, and like deep down, like maybe I do want love. And like I had the conflict within me is just so insane. And I think that's why I act the way that I do.
Absolutely. Because I feel like Cancers are always so emotional. And I'm like, what are you crying? Because I'm a Pisces. So it's Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios, the water signs. And I'm like, why are y'all so, what's the matter this time? But like, you only have to be in their inner circle for you to even know that they're mad, because they're so like guarded with their feelings and emotions and things like that.
My Cancer, and he's exactly like that.
Really?
I mean, he doesn't like, he's not like a crybaby by any means, but like he definitely has a hard shell, and like unless you're in his friend group, you would never know that he's like really sad sometimes, because he's like, but he's a little emo baby.
Oh, absolutely. So I saw on your Instagram a couple of weeks ago that you were listening to The Vibe and you heard your song, Josslyn. That has to feel so good hearing your song on the radio still.
It's insane. It's literally insane every time. I mean, because it used to happen with I Hate You, I Love You, like 4 years ago. And I like kind of got to the point where I got used to it. And then obviously I haven't had it since then. So it's like having that with a song that's also like just my song is so crazy. Like, it's the craziest feeling ever. You know
what's funny? Talking to you more, I see why I Hate You, I Love You was so perfect for you.
Yeah, the conflict.
Yeah, like I hate you. No, I love you. You're gonna be a tally mark. I hate you so much right now.
Yeah.
Did you help write that or no?
I actually wrote and composed that whole
You
song.
did.
Well, I didn't write Nash's verse, but I wrote the song and then he produced it out for me and then added a verse on it. So I have my own version that I recorded I have my own version that I recorded after that song came out, but I also have my original like SoundCloud demo that I made on GarageBand in my room, and it's like way slower and different. Only on SoundCloud. So like you can, if you want to hear what it originally sounded like before it all, then it's up there.
Was that about a specific person? Does that go back to the same situation, or is that just like, just came to you one day as you're sitting on the couch?
I was 15 when I wrote that, so the guy is definitely not a tally mark because I don't think I wrote more than one song about him, and also I was 15, like I didn't know what real emotions even were at that point. But it was about this guy from my high school, Bailey, and every single person when I wrote it knew that it was about him, and they would like it was like the joke of my school that like I wrote it about him.
That's funny. I'm sure he probably walks around like, oh my God, that song's about me. But in reality, it's not a good thing that song's about you, bruh.
No, it's not.
Jeez.
Whatever. I was such a little kid. Like I obviously cared a lot in the moment, but like it's when I look back now, I'm like, I cared about that. Like that's crazy.
See, you know what's funny? I was having a conversation with one of my little cousins, and you know how how little girls go through this like heartbreak and whatnot. And I was like, when you get older, you're not even going to remember like what you were even sad for. So Don't even waste the tears.
I know. And I was such a sad, like I was so sad in middle school and high school. And now I'm just like, I wish that I had just had more fun and stopped caring on people. That people were so mean to me in high school, especially like when I started doing music, people just like ripped me apart for it. And
Why?
I went to Catholic school in a small town. And if you did anything different, people just, also, I don't even know. I just like, I could not do anything right. Like before I made music, people were mean to me. And then after I made music, it was like, I was weird. And then people thought that I thought I was too cool because I had a song. And then I started wearing like clothes I thought were actually cute and people like roasted me. I was just like, it was like every little thing that I could possibly do. Just somehow everyone just didn't like it. But I think it was because I also cared so much what people thought about me that I would try to fit in. Like I would try to like wear like when you're trying to be somebody else, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like it's not going to work. People aren't going to accept you as one of their own because you're trying to fit in. Like I'd rather I just wish I didn't care at all in high school. I would have such a better experience, but I cared so much.
Or would you consider yourself still a people pleaser?
I actually had a conversation with my friends about this the other day. I'm trying like so hard to figure out who I really am and what I really want because I spent so many years trying to be what I thought I should be and what would make people like me and what would make me cool because I was just never cool. I just was never, I don't know. I was always sad about like who I was. And so recently I think I've been not caring as much, but then I'll fall back every once in a while. I'll see like someone being mean to me on social media. And then I'll like go on like a tangent of trying to find mean comments and trying to pick myself apart. And then the next day, like everything will be better. So I'm getting so much better at like bouncing back from that and like just not caring in general. But I think it's hard to unlearn that. It's hard to teach yourself, okay, I actually don't need to care because I've spent my whole life caring and changing myself. And now it's time for me to just be like, okay, what do I want? What do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I like?
So what is that? What do you like? What do you want to do?
I don't know. It's hard because now I have to try to figure that out, right? I think it starts for me, like this sounds so stupid, but like I'll go on Pinterest and like find like things that I just like. Like right now I'm about to move and I'm like I want my room to be like a perfect reflection of me. I think your space around you just like can define your happiness.
Like
so
your oasis.
But what?
Your oasis.
Yes, exactly. So I've been trying to find like, okay, without like whatever's cool right now, everyone has like this bed and this dresser and whatever, like all that aside, I'm going to look at photos of rooms and whatever and see something like, what do I like? What am I drawn to? And I'll make like a Pinterest board and then go through and like decide what I like without like the trends and whatever. And I'll do that with like clothes and like just random things in life. And I'll try to like visualize what I like, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. It's almost like a digital vision board, if you will.
Yeah, and it's also it kind of goes hand in hand with manifestation, because part of manifestation is visualizing. And
Mhm.
I've been really into manifestation. I'm trying to manifest, self-confidence and figuring out who I am and all of that stuff. So it's definitely a journey, but it's kind of fun.
I have a great time whenever I talk to you. When this quarantine thing is over, please come to the station so we can do this officially.
Yeah, of
But
course.
what's next?
Oh, that's such a daunting question. um, I just want to put out more music, honestly. I'm waiting. I feel like I've been waiting for a long time. And I was kind of on a little roll, and then I was going to put out another project before Coachella, and then I was going to play Coachella, and then we are going to put, we had plans. And obviously plans change and things don't always go the way we think they're going to, as we've seen with this year. So I think more music is going to be coming soon. We're figuring out like what the best way to release music through all this stuff is. So yeah, I just want to put out more music, and then when I'm able to tour again, I want to tour again, because that's like I got ripped away from my tour. It was the saddest
I
thing
know
ever.
because like it's so funny. It's so baffling to me, like how something like this just literally tore everything apart.
Every single person, like every single person's job was affected by this. It's like really crazy, and lives in general.
And the one thing that I am sick of hearing, I don't know if you're sick of hearing it, but we are all in this together. I do not want to hear that anymore for the next 25 years.
I mean, yeah, at first it was very comforting, because it was like at least like everyone's at home. But now, like, I don't know. I've heard it so many times. I'm like, okay, great, we're all sad. Now what?
I feel like this is the one time that everybody in the whole entire world is emo as hell. Like we're all emo, man. We all should just make some music and write some songs and whatnot.
Hey, don't come for my career right now.
Actually, they would suck. I appreciate you jumping on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course.